Live from the Preston Highway Studios, it's 24-hour Purple People.
Well, hello and welcome to 24-hour Purple People. My name is John Harper, and I am absolutely thrilled to have each and every one of you along for the ride today as we are all set to talk Louisville City, Racing Lou, and all sorts of fun stuff. And on today's program, on this fantastic voyage of purple, Louisville City lacks heart in Hartford. Yeah, that was for you, Matt. Some teams have all the luck, but Racing Lou is not one of them. And both of our favorite teams are going back to Cali. But here is two gentlemen that are not in California. They are in Kentucky, and the first one, you'll see him in the top left corner of your screen. He is the Dungeon Master, the EDMDJ. It's Ken Luther. Hello, Ken.
I think maybe we'll change that to just DJ because I was playing space rock. Have you ever listened to space rock before?
Can't say that I have.
All right. Well, it's like a jam band with a space theme. Anyway, celebrating 100 subscribers.
Yeah, that's right.
The channel. Woo,
oh, hey, that's good.
Yay.
I didn't know that.
We hit 100.
Congratulations to the most recent subscriber, me. All right.
What?
Moving on.
Our guy.
You finally subscribed. Well, hey, it counts.
Coming
Finally
through.
did. Oh, we're at 99. Boop.
Wow, perfect timing there. And okay, well, thank you for subscribing, Ken.
Good job.
My next panelist here is a good friend of mine. He is the author of the Purple Prose. He is an warrior poet and an all-around swell individual. Not a stud this week, sorry, Matt. It's Matt Dalton. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Johnny. I got a cat in my lap. I'm trying to get her to play nice with the camera, but she is not having it. Don't be difficult. Don't put your claws in my flesh either. Don't do that. All right.
Claws in the flesh.
We'll get her on camera here in a second. Don't worry.
Oh, I'm sure. Yes, she has become famous. Probably one of the reasons we hit 100 subscribers is Havoc there. So
the only reason.
We appreciate all sorts of subscribers, even the feline kinds, and a lot to talk about today on the program. Not as much as usual, I guess, as we had two games that are, weren't the most fun. One was here and one was away. We'll talk about the one that was first. It's supposed to be Friday night, right? It's supposed to be Friday night.
It was. We were threatened with thunderstorms, which actually wreaked havoc in southern Kentucky quite a bit.
Absolutely.
Definitely my heart goes out to those folks in southern Kentucky, and I'm thankful it didn't hit here in Louisville because the devastation would have been significantly worse because we have lots more people and lots more houses. But nonetheless, that was no joke of a storm that hit to our south. Yeah,
the National Weather Service saying that today there was an EF4 tornado, which is a very, very big tornado. But obviously a lot of people going through a lot right now in our state, and our thoughts go out to everybody out there. But NWSL Racing Louisville making the right decision to postpone this match to a 1 p.m. start on Saturday definitely affects some things, I think, for both teams. As we talked about before, weather delays do. But let's go to the highlights and see just what was affected, shall we? We shall. All right. So starting lineups, I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to get your thoughts, Matt Dalton, on these starting lineups.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Same lineup we ran the week before. Really no reason to change it. It generated quite a bit of what we wanted in this game, just not the desired result. But strong overall lineup.
Yeah, and I'm going to bring Ken in for his lineup thoughts. Ken, You like analyzing these lineups. Anything you saw
Yeah,
that
nerd.
that struck a nerve or maybe was eye opening to you with these lineups or business as usual?
No, I think this is probably our best 11. Kayla Fisher really plays a false nine. She doesn't play all the way up top, which I think we're going to get into a little bit more in a little while. But I think it's our strongest lineup to field.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that one. Yeah, the weather delay, guess you can say almost a 24-hour delay. 1 p.m. start time at Lynn Family Stadium. Busy time in the city right now. A lot going on.
Yeah, I was at the game, sitting up kind of in the corner. There were not a ton of people, but it was a really nice day for soccer. So it was a nice watch. Other
Looked
than
windy out there.
the field, it was super windy, and I think both teams. You can see the banners fluttering in the background there. And the few chances that Seattle got, you just saw one of them right there. Really was in the. I think they really started closing things down in the second half. So we might see a few highlights of their chances in the first half. The wind was a problem. We kept putting the ball up in the air. We kept crossing the ball high into the box, and it was not being very fruitful. And I was at points during the game yelling to keep the ball on the ground. Of course, they know better than I do. But I definitely saw some wind issues throughout the game.
You don't think that they heard that from the stands, like
I'm a pretty loud dude, so
however many yards away, and went, you know what, that guy's got a point.
yeah,
I hadn't thought
that's what
about
they
it until
thought.
right now.
That's what they
That
thought.
guy's got a point.
Well, I don't sit behind the bench anymore, so that's good.
That is good for everybody involved, for
Yeah,
law enforcement, for concessions,
exactly.
everybody. So I'm gonna read some stats at you guys. We normally don't do this, but so 62% possession, 299 accurate passes compared to their 150, so we doubled them up, right? 20 shots in total compared to 4 for Seattle. Almost 200 passes in their half versus 105 in ours, so we doubled up passes. We were over there in the attacking end a lot more often. 11 crosses to their 1. Ken, you already touched on that. 32 touches in the opposition box for racing, only 6 for Seattle, and we lost 1-0. How does
Right.
that happen?
Well,
How
how
does
it
that happen?
happens, we're gonna see how it happens, is because Savannah DeMello took a risk when we were pressing bodies forward, and they countered us, and then they parked the bus for the rest of the game, which, come to find out, they are incredibly good at doing. So yes, we're seeing
It's not a fan favorite tactic, but I mean, it works, you know.
it's working for them. So you really they can't complain too much. Reading various comments on Reddit, and Reddit's an interesting thing because, you'll see the USL games and you get like 40 or 50 comments on a game. The NWSL games will get 1,500 to 2,000 comments on a single game. And there were a lot of comments from Seattle homers that saying they deserve the win, which for us is crazy, but
Yeah, that's laughable even.
it's laughable, but this is the way they play. They play a counter game. They play a defensive game. They just did it significantly.
Yeah.
In this
I mean,
case.
honestly,
Right
you'll
there.
notice
that play right there, pressed bodies forward. Savannah turned the ball over right into that winger. She was faster than us, and she slotted the ball right in. And that
Ellie
was it.
Jean. I think Jean was actually like neck and neck with her, maybe a little bit ahead of her when Darlene starts that run, and she just passes her up. I mean, she just completely blows by her.
And she was in the box, so Ellie Jean was going to make the tackle in the box. And then the rest of the game was them parking the bus. Incredibly frustrating. A lot of our crosses were in the air, getting picked up by that swirling wind.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have a lot of accurate crosses. So very, very, very frustrated. and those close chances that we had were usually the ball popcorning up and around the goal, and us trying to knot it in, and it just wasn't working for us.
I believe we'll see one of those coming up in
Yeah.
just a second. Hello, you. So you gave a lot of credit to Seattle's work rate on defense and whatnot. Do you think that it's more Seattle or more Racing not finding the target?
Thus, my comment about Kayla Fisher playing a false nine. I
Okay.
think we as good as she is at the
Mhm.
high press, and she's had a couple goals, 2 goals, I think, so far this year. I think we're still struggling to get that clinical finishing touch that you're going to get from an outright number 9. We just don't have it. And should we have a player like that can tuck the ball away on a moment's notice, I think we'll see a lot more goals. We'll lose potentially a high pressing ability.
Mhm.
So it's kind of the way we play is that high press. We are maybe potentially giving up someone that could be more clinical in front of the goal. So, yeah, I think there is an issue right there.
I don't. Bev speaks a lot to like identity and yeah, having identity and attack and whatnot. Do you think that that's on her radar? Maybe like switching it up in terms of, because I think we're just now getting to that high press style that she's wanted.
Yeah, I don't know if she's going to switch it up. I think she's going to keep playing close to this starting 11 that
Mhm.
she's been playing and continue to work on those parts of the game where we're falling short. We're solid in the back. Taylor Flint continues to have the best performances, I think, of her career. I even think you could make an argument that she should be getting a nod for the national team, which we can talk about maybe after this segment. So I think we're going to continue to work on where we're falling short and being more clinical in the box. I don't necessarily think we're going to be necessarily replacing players unless there are injuries or unless we pick somebody up during the summer break.
I don't, Taylor to me, I know it's very early, but she should be getting. I mean, if we had a better record, this would be easier. She should be getting kind of written in as MVP at this point. Not that she's had that kind of season yet, but she's as important to our team as anybody, right?
Yeah.
Like she's a very significant player for us. So
Yeah,
where she goes, where we go, you know.
not only is she a very significant player for us, but I do also think she's playing some of the best defensive midfield work in the NWSL right now. If you're going to use FOTMOB as a measure, she's getting higher FOTMOB marks than the other national team players in Sam Coffey, Claire Hutton, and Lily Johannes. Yet she's not even on the bench in the national team. So I don't know. I'm not a coach and I don't know a whole lot about the game, but it seems to me that she is just as good as all 3 of those other players. Yet she's not even going to the national team games.
Midfield's, I guess we're particularly heavy in midfield for the national team. I guess we've got a pretty deep pool because Sav didn't get a call up either, and she's really turned a corner. I think she's playing pretty good ball right now too.
Yeah, I think she has to be more consistent, and maybe that's
Mhm.
it. Maybe Taylor Flint needs to show a number more games at this high level of play because she has had some inconsistent seasons. But if she keeps playing like she is, I'd be super surprised if she doesn't get a national team up. Sav DeMello, same thing. I think she needs at least a half a season of consistency under her belt to get another nod to the team.
Yeah,
On
she's
the other
missed
hand,
some time.
didn't Emma Sears get called up?
She sure did. Called up for international friendlies. Those will be in July, I believe, right? Someone can correct me.
Are we playing China pretty soon? I think we are
Oh,
at the end of this month.
Yeah, May 31st for China and June the 3rd versus Jamaica. Also getting called up to her respected national team, Janine Sonis is playing for Canada. She got the call up as well.
Oh, Canada.
She's had a set of very good games too, including this game. And that last strike of the ball by Savannah DeMello missed going into the goal by about that much. That's how much she missed by, because I was sitting right behind her when she took that shot.
We're having a very different conversation if that goes in.
We are, but I think the conversation would have been, that's a game we tied that we should have won. The conversation we're having right now is, this is a game we lost that we should have won, which makes it hurt that much more. I definitely think we should have won that game. But hats off to Seattle for parking the bus for 75 minutes or whatever it was. That's the way you play. I hate to watch
what the people want.
Yeah, hats off to Seattle for being so boring to watch. No, Matt, you went over some stats. You might have went over this one. 12 corner kick opportunities for Racing Louisville. Of course, no conversions on that. You've got to convert on those set pieces. That's something that I think at times we've been pretty good at over our history, but for the most part, those are missed opportunities for Racing Louisville. And let's face it, when we're grinding in this part of the season where we're at on the table, those opportunities we do not want to waste. And I think that hopefully better days ahead. 20 shots, only 1 on goal. There's just a lot of things you can look at, and just it is a head scratcher. Matt, you were talking about the stats. I did the same thing when I was looking at the tape for this match, and I was just kind of like, this makes no sense. Soccer makes no sense.
Sometimes
I think Aaron Wright had a very similar quote after the game. That's just the way the game goes sometimes.
Yep. With all those set piece opportunities and the size that we have on our team, it's driving me crazy, because Taylor Flint is probably was the tallest player on the field. Kayla Fisher is not short. We have defensive players that are not short as well. We have a couple other players that are very short, but they will play in the back, like O'Kane and Millay. But Emma Sears also is a fairly dangerous presence in the box. Yet we are unable to convert on set pieces. Corner is not the best way to do it, but we had other opportunities too, and we failed at that.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to the next matchup as Racing Lou heads out to La La Land. We'll talk about a little bit later on in the program, but let's go to Saturday's next match. It was an away game at Hartford, a game that we were so just oozing with confidence, I guess would be the word to say. Fartford.
I don't know if I would say oozing, but yeah, that's a word to use.
We were oozing for a big dub at Fartford, and we did not get it. And the way it went down was, boy, it was something else, wasn't it, gentlemen? We should watch the highlights. We should just rip off the Band-Aid and get it.
Let's do it.
Get it over with, shouldn't we? Okay, we're going to. But first, Detroit. Just kidding.
Racing Louisville.
Racing.
We're not going to show Detroit. All righty.
Okay, lots of changes.
Lots of changes
in this case. I want to say the announcer said 5. I think that's about right. And it cracks me up a little bit when you have the people who build these graphics are just given a list of names, and then they fill them in where they think they're going to be playing and in the formation that they think we're playing. So in this case, we've got Dia Adams and Ordonez playing in the back. Adams and Ordonez, for some weird reason, according to the person that built this graphic, have switched, and that Toch has been pushed forward into an attacking midfield role.
Why not?
And Goodrum is playing behind Perez and Lambert. And Lambert all of a sudden is a striker up top. So that's interesting. That is absolutely not what we played.
I will say, though, he got lost right. He got the keeper right. So
they got lost right.
Nailed that one.
We did play 3 in the back with our traditional 3 in the back, and then we played attacking wing backs in the form of Dia and well, you've taken the graphic away, so I don't even know who it is. But Dia and Manny Perez. And then Goodrum was playing an outright number 9 up top with Davila and Lambert pairing in the midfield, playing that double pivot, and Adrian Perez. And who am I missing? McCabe also playing up that. You know what I liked is McCabe put in 90 minutes in this game.
90 minutes. I was going to mention that too. Yeah.
Yeah, his first start of the year, and he put in 90 minutes.
Yep, that's good. Now he played another 45 earlier, but he's stepping in. So a lot of changes. So I think that's. I don't know if Danny Cruz is trying to send a message to some of his other players, or he was just doing the rotation. Not sure.
It's the Hartford
Yeah, I think
faithful.
part of it was he thought he could kind of get away with it a little bit, right? Like we're playing Hartford, right? So you can make some changes, not necessarily put out your best 11.
Ooh, that stings.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think we're going to know who the best 11 is or who Danny thinks the best 11 is until the next game, because he had some poignant things to say about some of his substitutes during the after show interview, but we can get
Drama.
to that. Yes, a little bit of drama. Okay, the game.
I really thought it was just on a long shot of that ball. I didn't think that. I didn't know you paused it. I was like, this is an interesting video.
I think we had the measure of the game, certainly in the first half. We had the better chances. They had good chances, but we had more of the ball, more not necessarily in possession wise, but in better areas. Yet here we are.
Yeah, here we are. We're doing this song and dance again. Yet here we are.
They
Having been the better team.
Yeah, they picked up a couple of early yellow cards, which hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't recall why, but I think one of them was a pretty stupid reason to get a yellow card, and that player later on got a second yellow and
That's
red.
Interesting from that Hartford player trying to thread the needle there that led to that turnover. 50th goal in the USL Championship for Philip Goodrum, and they don't really get a whole lot easier than that. Manny Perez laying it off.
And that is exactly what I would expect a number 9 in Goodrum to do over and over and over again. Make that late run, get that one little teeny tiny touch with a defender all over you, and slot it into the goal.
Yep. You don't have to do much. You just got to send it home.
Got to be in the right spot, and you got to hit it correctly. And he does what he was hired to do right there. So more of that, please.
Man, I like Manny holds on to the ball a lot till the very last second, I've noticed, and it's been wonderful each time. And he holds on to the ball right for the end there, right before the tackle shows up.
I agree. I mean, there are two things that Manny brings you. It's his ability to hold on to the ball and move the ball up those wings, and his ability to see where other players are on the field.
Oh yeah, great vision.
Right, here we go. So this is this young man's second yellow card.
And, I mean, he made it pretty hard on the ref. I mean, there's no, you have to whistle this. I mean,
he's already playing on a yellow. Why did he do that?
Yeah.
So that was what, 67 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
60, yeah, 65th.
65th.
So now we are 1-0, winning the game.
Up one.
Playing
10
men.
men.
Playing 10 men. What do we do?
And we were oozing with confidence before. We were oozing practically.
So Coach Cruz decides a couple of minutes later to bring on Serrano and McFadden, who have been our traditional starters, and we're sitting on the bench for this game, and Jones. Jones not a starter, but Ordonez earlier in the game had busted his head wide open.
Yeah.
So maybe a prudent sub. And Lambert, who was playing on a yellow, and Ordonez also playing on a yellow. Two good subs to make, and then Dia as well. Those were the subs that were made at what, 70, 72 minutes, 73 minutes.
Yeah, about halfway through, yeah.
What do we think about those? How'd they do?
So we mentioned this. We went over this after the game, and I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on this. And I'd really love to hear Danny's thoughts as well, even more in depth. I thought they played all right. I didn't notice anything that maybe we were lacking. I mean, maybe that's my lack of soccer knowledge, but go ahead and break it down for us.
Me? I have no idea.
What did you ask me?
I asked you, and you deflected it right back to me. Not cool.
Yeah, that's what I do.
He had a lot of things to say that he was not happy in the subs. I didn't necessarily see that, but what I did see is he made a whole bunch of subs after we're winning the game 1-0, and we end up losing the game. And why was that? Why
they weren't defensive minded subs, right? I mean, you put Serrano and McFadden in. I mean, those aren't holding midfielders, right?
Well, who do we have left? I mean, we don't have a whole lot of defensive-minded players left on the bench to sub. The only other player we had that we could have subbed was Carlos Mogel. And I think seeing his performance in the game before this, we used fresh legs, but maybe the issue is we don't have enough quality to make defensive-minded subs. I don't know.
And I mean, I've given a ton of praise to Danny for his great substitutions, right? He's won us. I mean, I can't count how many games he's won us with bringing in players off the bench. But I mean, I'm not saying that we lost because of that, but apparently it was enough to get his ire.
He hasn't always made the right call on subs. I do recall a certain game in Tampa where he made a whole bunch of defensive-minded subs, used up all our subs. We go to overtime. We end up losing the game because we didn't have any legs up front left. So he's not 100% on making subs and making subs at the right time. Should he have made these subs? I don't know. He also took good removal.
Somebody call him, text him.
Okay.
Well, he deflects.
Just a few little quick quotes from the post-match. Coach Cruz saying that the subs came in and did not do what we expected them to do. And I think...
Which was what?
They ran backwards, I think.
Yes, they actually came in and started. They were wearing basketball gear and they were playing basketball. No, I don't know. Somebody brought up on our 24-hour Purple People Discord channel, I believe, that it said, "Who is to blame between? Is it Coach Cruz or is it the subs that Coach Cruz brought in?" I think that whatever it was that happened, that we can't really exactly pinpoint with these players coming in. I was listening, my famous listening to the radio on my drive home from work, listening to the radio broadcast. Adrian Riggs, great job with Ballard, Mr. Ballard, Richie Ballard. A great broadcast. But they really talked about, and this was on the radio, that in the post-match, something changed when those subs came in. It was opposite of what it should have been. The energy and the momentum is big. I think Manny Perez was saying that on his post-game interview, how big momentum is in soccer. We know that. And the momentum was totally on Hartford's. They were just on the front foot. And then once they got the goal, then they were playing that they were out to win this match. And yes, they were still flopping around. And there was some extracurricular activities after the match. My mom, who was kind of like my USL correspondent, she texted me and said, "There's a fight." Now, she had not texted me up to this point. I don't even know if she knew. I don't think she realized I was listening to the game or paying any attention. There's a fight. Now, I don't know if there's a fight at her house. I don't know what's going on.
In the street.
I had no idea. So there's a fight. A little bit. Some stuff went on after the match, I believe.
I want to go back to this subs thing though. When you look on who came on for who, right? We've got Serrano and McFadden. So McFadden comes on for Dia. That's a like for like. You've got Jones comes on for Ordonez. That's a like for like. That's easy. But then you have Serrano coming on for Lambert. that is not a like for like. So what happened? What do we do? I can't quite remember, but we must have pulled McCabe back to play that holding midfield role and push Serrano out up on the wing. And maybe that was the issue. I don't know, but you didn't get 3 like for like subs in there. So there was some sort of formation change that it seems like Hartford took advantage of.
I'm loving this analysis though of we know something happened, we just don't know what.
We just
exactly.
don't know what.
We don't know what it was. We don't know what the fuck we're watching. We know we're watching something. And you're all thinking the same thing right now in your living rooms or on your phone on the toilet.
Yeah.
Well, what we're just saying is somebody needs to look at it and figure out what went wrong. And you know,
and then get back with us.
Yes,
yeah, then tell
us.
us.
Let us know
because
people. I honestly I don't really know what happened, and I'm still not convinced it was the subs fault. There had to have been players switching roles, and sometimes if you've been playing a game in a certain role and you switch a role, it causes confusion or brings out an unmatched relationship against your opposition. So that's possible.
Danny called them out in the, not by name or anything, but he mentioned specifically the subs didn't bring, the energy or whatever post game, right? I mean, was he asked directly, do you think the subs brought the energy that you needed, or did he just mention it off the cuff?
Well, I mean, I don't think he was talking about Wilson for Goodrum because that didn't happen until 80 some odd minutes. So maybe
right.
It was. That's just not a whole lot of time to judge someone. So it had to be Evan, who came in at 58 minutes, Serrano, McFadden, or Jones. One of those 4, or 2 of those 4, or all of those 4. And maybe it was Evan. I don't know. Did Evan come in for Manny? And then Evan filled Lambert? I don't know.
With the scoring play, Danny also mentioned that we didn't clear the ball properly, which brings me that's a major league flashbacks to not clearing the ball at other matches in our history that came back to cost us. So
the only other thing I see is Lambert picked up another yellow. And,
he sure did.
And so he's when you play the type of role that he plays, we've had other players do this before. Carlos Mogel had a problem doing this a couple years ago. So once you pick up that yellow and you're playing this kind of role in the midfield, you have to change your playing style, and it causes some problems for fear of picking up a second yellow.
How long do you think before Lambert kind of gets a reputation for hard fouling? I mean, because
I think he's already got one.
Yeah, I think we're already there, to be honest.
Coach Cruz also saying that Arturo being subbed out was because of his yellow card earlier in the match.
Makes sense.
So definitely want to preserve him for the big road game coming up. Other comments included Philip Goodrum saying that LouCity lacked the fire and passion of a typical match. Manny Perez also saying that it wasn't good enough. Lots of and taking responsibility for this match and really homing in on it and trying to figure out what the problem is. Other comments included some online. I'm not going to call you out by name, but one comment I said that, drag them through the mud.
Do
it. Basically that this match was, and not that the team even posted anything like this, that this was a loss, because basically we're now the only team in North America soccer, period, the whole thing that hasn't lost a match. And people are saying we got to quit dwelling on that. This was a loss. It did feel like a loss, especially down or being up a man and then being down a man. I just We
had the lead. We were in the lead for 50 minutes, right? We just couldn't finish it out. I mean, Goodrum said himself feels like a loss at the end of his quote. So
sure.
He was on the field. After we've run through both the racing and city games at this point, How do you feel? Do you feel better about the Hartford draw, or do you feel better about the Seattle loss?
Ooh.
I feel
Ooh.
better about the Seattle loss.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
I think
Me too.
I think Racing played with more heart and more desire, even though it couldn't put the damn ball in net.
Yeah.
Then I felt like, as the players on Louisville City said, they brought to the Hartford game. And I will listen to those post match interviews or whatever, but I won't make a judgment until I see them play the next game. And if they bring it the next game, all is forgiven.
Very well, Sensei.
Namaste. Namaste.
Yeah, and it's going to be a test. It's going to be a test, and that test is going to be against who are we doing for? We want to do Monterey while we're here, while we're in the neighborhood.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
Monterey.
Our test is going to be against Monterey Bay, the union they have out there in Monterey Bay. This is a team that, hasn't been around too often, but this is a good start for them. But you also have to need to look at those details, how they got those points. Not exactly the best run of play for them right now, but they are sitting in fourth right now in the Western Conference, which seems to be a conference that's a little bit up in the air in the early going. Nobody's really taking off for Monterey Bay. Matt, I flipped a coin off screen. I'm going to start with you. Feelings heading out to California, a West Coast game, late start for the Eastern time zone as we will be observing. I don't guess either of you guys are going to that match.
I don't plan on it, no.
Yeah, I mean,
But anything could happen.
Couldn't work it in. But what do you see out of this Monterey Bay out there?
So that you're right. They're fourth in the West, which is good, right? But they haven't won a game since April 12th. So we're looking at quite a few draws, quite a few losses since then. I think the time zone is going to be our biggest fight. To be honest, the cross country road trip. I mean, it's never easy. I think that's going to be one of our biggest things we got to overcome. We got to score. I mean, we got to score. We got to put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, this is something we're not used to, is the lack of explosion, lack of finishing, the lack of intensity in trying to outscore our opponents. Is something that we did so well in the 2024 campaign. But this is a team, Ken, that has 2 goals in 5 matches. Are we concerned about Monterey after what just happened in Hartford, or are we still business as usual? We are Louisville City.
I'm most concerned it's going to be a tie, 0-0 or 1-1, because we can't get our attack going. They're stronger in the back than they are in the front, and their scoring and attack is impotent, is what I wrote in my notes. Impotent. They have an impotent attack. You're spot on. They haven't won a game since April. They got 11 games played and 16 points compared to us, 19 points and 9 games played. So it's not. We're a better team points wise so far in the stadium. What I am probably most interested in seeing is who is going to start for us in Monterey Bay on Saturday, considering what happened at Hartford. I expect Goodrum to start. He's starting to get into the positions that you want him in, scoring another goal exactly how you want him to score them. And of the one player, well, 2 players that Coach Cruz had good things to say about, Goodrum was one of them. So assuming he's healthy, I expect him to start. And I expect to see our traditional 3 in the back, Taylor Davila, and I don't know who else from there. So we'll see.
We're still without Sam Gleedle, as far as I know. I don't know if he's back in training yet. So
don't know.
That's a huge attacking piece that is taken off the board, unfortunately. Probably our most informed striker all season long. So, I mean, that's one big piece that we're missing.
Thoughts on, and I know there was probably specific reasons for this, but thoughts on Niall maybe getting a second start?
He might, yeah.
I mean, if he can bring the vibes, man, if he can bring good energy, I mean, why not?
That's what I was thinking, that it might be a situation where maybe we need a veteran presence out there. We have multiple veterans, but it may be to have the presence of the OG Louisville City player, Niall Legend, for us, and maybe that will make a little bit of a difference. I mean, we'll see.
I have noticed. I really liked the way that Danny has used Niall this year. He's used them sparingly, but he's put him in like really important minutes. So he's on the field during like really impactful times. So even in a limited number of minutes, he's influencing the game. So maybe more minutes. I mean, let him influence the game even more.
And this match might be an impactful time. The whole thing, it might be a reason to get Niall in there. Ken, I think you said earlier, he went all 90 and no slowing down in Niall McCabe, and it was great to see him. Love to see him. Love to see Niall.
Always. Everybody's favorite player.
Yeah, everybody. Doesn't matter who you think your favorite player is. It's actually Niall McCabe.
Yeah, it's actually Niall McCabe.
We gotta maintain pace with Charleston. They've got 5 wins in a row, or maybe even more. It's all I'm looking at right now. They are on a tear. And they're a very well coached and highly talented team. So if we don't start pulling some points down, we're gonna start losing pace with them.
We don't have
also annoyingly up there as well.
We don't have a game in hand on Charleston either. So I mean, we're all even. Yep.
Yeah.
But again, you don't want to fall too far behind.
Nope. Not against a team like Charleston. No. So I'm not gonna say we have to bring 3 points home, but it would be nice.
It'd be real nice. You feel real good.
Yeah.
And this is not Hartford, right? I mean, we thought it was going to be an easy 3 points from Hartford, possibly, as no games are really easy, but we thought this might be easy. This is a team that's sitting higher up in the table, and again, form hasn't been that great. Doesn't look like they're exactly an offensive juggernaut out there, but we'll see. We'll see.
Charleston's going to Detroit this weekend, so Detroit is expected to win that game by a little bit. So this is a place where we can leapfrog Charleston for first in the East.
Home field advantage.
It would have been first if we beat Hartford. Let's finally get to it. Let's reclaim it.
Could have been first, but nope. So we got to make up for it. Mm-hmm. So that's where that fire needs to show up in California IA.
Yep, another place.
Not like
no.
Rephrase that. No.
I'm going to rephrase that. Nope, never mind.
Okay. Just as we got to the Los Angeles portion of the program. Thanks a lot, Ken. Racing Louisville is heading to Angel City, and Angel City is a team, Matt, that they've had better days. They are not having the best year thus far, but not exactly having all that too much of a difference in some ways to us, I guess it's fair to say. I don't know, but
I don't know. I think Angel City is sort of like they've kind of gotten back up there. They're not in that highest tier. I think that if you look at the table in the NWSL, you can kind of separate it into like 3 buckets, 3 groups. And I don't think they're quite to that top level yet of your Orlando's, your Kansas City's, your San Diego's. But I mean, they're certainly not bottom feeders either. They're probably in a better position than we are. I know they are on the table. So.
They are on the table. Yes, that's true.
And they're putting in a lot of goals.
They are putting in a lot of goals, and they've had a pretty tough schedule here recently. Played a lot of matches, but a 2-0 loss to the Bay FC over the weekend, which are just above us on the table. Mm-hmm. Ken, Angel City, that was a big deal when that team launched. Everybody was so excited.
They have a lot of support. They have a great
they're still
environment.
drawing a lot of people.
We're playing at their house, so that in itself is going to be tough. It's all the way out on the West Coast. They are a team that scores a lot of goals. Thompson, they have the Thompson twins. They're actually not twins; they're sisters. But Alyssa Thompson is fast as lightning, and she is going to be a handful. And Tiernan as well is scoring a lot of goals. So this is going to be a serious defensive test for us. I think we can do it. And I think we can do it by playing the way we play, which is heavy metal press. So that's what absolutely I would like to see. The question remains is, can we score?
If we get this team in the correct mindset, and I say we like I have anything to do with any of this, but if the team can get in the correct mindset, if they can get that confidence even after that loss, if they can, have that, I think we can do it. Absolutely. We have all the tools needed. We can beat this team 100%. Just have to be in the right frame of mind to do it.
Yeah. And we got to,
yeah. Two wins, 2 draws, 2 losses between these clubs and their prior matchups. I know that Angel City is, like you said, they got good support out there. It's going to be a hostile environment for racing. It seems like a lot of times we go out to the West Coast, we being racing, we usually play rather well out there. I don't know if there's something about getting out and I don't know. Maybe it's the air in the West Coast. It seems like we play well on the west side of the country. I don't know, but
we're a scrappy team playing with a
humidity.
chip on our shoulder. I mean, 3 points puts us into the playoff zone. So let's go take it. And I absolutely think we can.
I think we've got a few California players as well, right? I know that Sav is a California girl, I believe. So, I mean, you want to ball out in front of your friends and family, right? I mean,
yeah. I wish they all could be California girls.
Oh.
Did you just make that up? That's good.
Thank you.
Write that down. Write that down.
When Ken joined before we went on the air, I was singing. What was I singing, Ken?
We were singing Pokemon. I can't even remember now. Let's get down to business. That's it.
No, that's what you were playing. I was singing She Loves the Monkey's Uncle. Yeah.
I didn't even hear that.
Oh, dang it. Oh. That stinks.
What?
It's a Beach Boys were on it. It's not really a Beach Boys song. I'm a big Beach Boys fan. You know this.
Okay. All right. Sure.
Midwest farmers' daughters make me feel all right, but I do wish they all could be California girls. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Wow.
That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. And what you are here for, you being the viewer or listener, is enjoyment. We hope you enjoyed today's episode of 24-Hour Purple People. Don't forget.
Give it a shot.
Yeah. I mean, you can hit the like button if you'd like. We're now at 100 subscribers. Thanks to Ken. But we would like to thank 99 other people for their support. Ken's just meme subscribing at this point. But no, we really appreciate all the support and stuff. It really means a lot to us. Hey, have you checked us out on Spotify, audio only version? And while you're listening, if you want complete overload, you can check out mattdalton.substack.com. You like that? I got all the plugs.
Got it all
of them. Guys, any closing thoughts as we enter the second half of our week?
We've got 2 weeks with no home games. Do you guys realize that?
Weird.
Nothing this weekend, nothing next weekend. What am I supposed to do?
It's feast or famine. We had like 3 home games in the period of 4 days, and then we got nothing for 2 weeks.
And then nothing. We'll get nothing and like it.
Yeah, they couldn't have spread that out a little bit. I'm actually going to Kings Island on Friday. Yeah, I'm off starting. My vacation started at 5 p.m. today, and it goes all the way to next Tuesday. I'm off through Memorial Day. I usually don't take off around, like on holidays. I usually find a way to work for some reason. But
normal,
yeah, but not this time. And I think here's what's good about this little soccer break is when they are back, we've got racing on a Friday night. We've got Louisville City on a Saturday night. It's Pride Night, always a fun match. So I am excited for that today because I will be off that weekend. I'll get to actually go to those matches, and it's always a good time. Always a good time.
Hell
We hope to see you then, and we maybe hope to see you. Well, we do hope to see you, but I know it's going to be a late start for the Eastern time zone, but I'm sure there'll be a few watch parties that we might attend on Saturday, and then we'll come back on the air next week and completely sabotage them.
We're going to run them into the ground. Yeah.
Absolutely. But
Nitpick everything. Go ahead.
until then, Matt, how dare you? I'm not going to red you. You're on a non-red card streak. I'm not going to red card you. Ken's probably going to start getting mad. He gets red carded way more often. Maybe I need a red card tab, like how many you've got.
Yeah. Do you have the stats? Are we on Fight Mob?
I do have stats.
So far.
One day they'll be unveiled to the masses, to the 100 at least. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. We will see you next time. For Ken Luther, Matt Doughton, I am John Harper. We are 24-hour Purple People. Good night, Purple fam. We'll see you on the flip side.
I love you.
Bye-bye.